Hey guys, it's C.O.D. C.O.D. Outdoors. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for clicking on this video. We're back at the A-frame shelter today. We're going to do an overnighter. As you can see, we got some shrimp and peppers over the fire. And we were going to stay in the A-frame, guys, which is right behind us. But it's really hot inside there. It's really humid today. The moisture is really high in the air. And inside of that thing, man, it really holds the heat. There's no airflow whatsoever. So it's really hot in there, and mosquitoes are like crazy inside of that thing. Not to mention any other creepy crawlies. But we do have a plan. Just right up the hill here from the A-frame. In an earlier video that I made, you guys saw me set up my hammock. Well, that's what I'm going to be sleeping in tonight. And I also got my DD tarp set up over top of it. We're not expecting any rain, but that's just in case. You know, so no moisture will set on top of me. But this hammock's really nice. It's got a mosquito net built on it. And I believe we're going to do okay, guys. It's got a nice airflow. Inside of that A-frame was just a nightmare. You see how we tied it off here. We run the ridge line right down the loops on the DD tarp and just tied it off to trees and used some of the pegs that came with it to secure it to the ground. That's our setup for the night, and I think it's going to do okay. We got up here late. We got back from work a little late, so it's already starting to get dark on us. And we set up this real quick so we could get it done before dark. I'm sorry I didn't film it. If anybody wants to know how I done any of this, just pop it down in the comments, guys, and I'll go over it. It's a real simple setup. Don't take no time at all. The hammock sets up really quick because of just the way it's made. You just tie it off on each end, you're done. And the mosquito net's a little bit more in depth, but it's easy as well. So this is going to be our setup tonight, guys. And tomorrow, Lord willing, if we wake up to another day, we're going to do some bushcrafting. I'm going to attempt to make a backpack. I know you guys have heard of Ozzy the Iceman. They found him back in 1991 over in Italy, up in the Alps. He was frozen. Some hikers found him, and he had a bunch of tools with him. Well, in future episodes, my plan is to go over the tools he had and try to recreate them. So tomorrow I'm going to try to recreate the backpack that he had, and we're going to make it out of materials around us. We're going to see how that goes. Stay with us, guys. Thanks for coming. Let's go check on our shrimp. Alright, guys, here's the shrimp and the peppers. Now this is pre-cooked shrimp, guys, so I just needed to heat it up. But it looks good. Several of the peppers fell off, but we're going to try it anyway. Yummy. Of course, I am hungry. I'm going to fix some more, but I think I'm going to boil it this time in my cup. I've also got a Diet Pepsi, a big one. No, I'm not sponsored by anybody, guys. Tartar sauce would be nice. I started to grab some, but I didn't. I was in a hurry to get up here. Stopped at Walmart and picked up the shrimp. It's a nice evening. Temperature is not bad at all, but the humidity is really high. Really high. I brought a blanket, but I don't know if I'm gonna eat it. Right, guys, it's about 11 o'clock at night and I'm in the hammock. Got the nets all zipped up. Been going over some things on my phone, just reviewing videos and things, reading the Bible a little bit. But we're going to try to sleep, see what we can do. Lord willing, we'll see you in the morning. Here's a little trick, guys. If you don't have a toothbrush, toothpaste, this is a birch tree, which has a natural mint flavor. And you chew on the bark. All you do is take your little stick, just chew it up until it's frayed, and you just now we're going to attempt to make the backpack that Otzi the Iceman made. The materials may not be exact to what he made them out of, but we're going to try to make it in the same design the way he did. Of course, we won't have the same tools because he had tools made from flint. He also had a drill, like a drill made out of bone, and he had like a little auger made out of flint as well. You guys need to go online and check out his documentary if you're interested in that kind of thing. You can also just look up the tools that he had, and there's videos on that. It's really interesting, at least it was to me. But anyway, we're going to try to attempt to make this backpack. And first thing we got to do is find us a sapling that's not too big, that will be supple enough to bend into the shape that he had it in. Okay guys, this is our sapling we're going to try to use. I hope it's long enough. We're going to see what we can do with it. Okay, first thing we need to do, guys, is get the bark off of this little sapling. So we're going to debark it real quick. I'm not sure the species of tree this is. Alright, now we got to attempt to bend this into a U shape. Now, that's going to be fun. We're going to give it a try, guys. You got to take your time so that you don't tear the fibers in this wood. You might hear that little crack. You may not get this one in a U shape. We're going to try though. We're getting there. Getting closer. For sake of time right now, guys, I've got some jute twine that I bought, and I'm going to use to tie this off with. Otzi would have used fibers, such as bark fibers or grass, that he turned into cordage by using the double twist method. I am going to demonstrate to you guys how to do that with some tulip poplar bark that I have. Got it soaking in the creek right now to make it more pliable. But we're just going to use this for now. Because it would take a little while. It would take a little while to make a full-size rope or cordage, full-size cordage piece. You know, up to 6 feet. It would take a while to do that with some natural fibers. So what I'm going to do is hook one end around this, just with a slip knot, a Canadian cinch knot. Hopefully this is not going to break. Probably could have found a straighter sapling to use, but this one's got character, so we'll want to use it. It did split on me right here a little. Hopefully that won't affect it structurally. So I'm just going to tie this off. That's essentially, you know, about the width of the shoulders. This is from the Neolithic period, guys, which was from the Neolithic period, which was Stone Age. The Bronze Age was like right there on the brink of happening, because Otzi also had a copper axe, which baffled scientists because they thought smelting of copper didn't come for another 1,000 years, but that shook up the scientific community a little bit, because Otzi already had a copper axe, which was evidence that they knew how to mine that, or to get it out of the stone and to smelt it down to make tools with, which is really cool. So here's our frame, and while this sets for a minute, I'm going to show you guys how to use some fibers and do the double twist technique. Okay everybody, here's our tulip poplar bark that we had in the creek. We just retrieved it. I'm going to start with this piece because it feels the best. Let's see how pliable it is. First thing you got to do is get this outer bark off, because the inner strands are the ones that you're going to work with. It's always good to know these skills, guys, in case, you know, something bad would happen and you'd have to have them. I'm going to take this, cut this. I'm going to use this piece right here. And we've got all this. See how it tears off? Just take these pieces and tear them off into strips. That's the good thing about tulip poplar, guys, is the bark will peel off, you know, big long lines, which is great for making cordage with. I want to break this down until I got like 6 pieces. That way I can demonstrate to you guys how to do the double twist technique. You just have to take your time. You can also do this with grass, with stinging nettle fibers, dried grass that is, and cedar bark. Cedar bark works good to make cordage. Right, we've got our pieces here. And all I'm going to do is take my thumbnail and go down this just to get any of that stiffer substance off of it to make it more pliable. But some of this still feels a little stiff. That one broke on me. Okay guys, we've got our pieces of inner bark here, inner bark fibers that we're going to make this double twist cordage with. Trying to just line the ends up the best I can. And what you want to do is take this and twist it. Just twist it just like this until it starts to twist over on itself. Like that. Until it starts to twist over and make a loop. I'm going to even this out some. You just want to twist it over on itself. And that's it, it'll just twist right into itself like that. And you want to grab that loop. And these pieces you're going to twist in. Don't twist them out, twist them both in. And then grab the loop and twist it. Twist in on both of these. And twist the loop. Just keep repeating that process as you go. Give the loop a couple twists. Just try to keep it tight as you go. We're going to twist these two in. And then twist the loop again. Twist these in. Twist it, the whole thing in on itself. Twist these in. Just keep repeating that process, guys, until you get a full length cordage. And I can guarantee you, and I will assure you that this is very strong. I tried to break a piece with my hands and I couldn't do it. Just by pulling. Twist in. And twist on itself. And just try to keep that tight as you work it. Once you get down to the end, you just keep adding fibers in like this. You just keep adding them in. You just twist them into the cordage. And you just keep doing the same process with the twist. Twist the end and then twist the whole cord on itself. You have to tighten it up as you go. Just make sure it's staying where you want it to. And just keep twisting in. That's how you make natural cordage, guys. Now all these little frays off the side, once you get your cord done, you can just run that over a fire real briefly and all those frays will be gone. And you just keep adding and adding until you get the desired length that you want. It's very efficient, very strong. Trust me, I'm pulling really hard on this. And it will not break. That's natural cordage, guys. This is tulip poplar bark. Again, like I said, you can use cedar bark, you can use stinging nettle fibers, you can use dead grass, all kinds of different things. And I could just keep adding on to this and making it longer and longer and longer. They also use this same cordage to make bowstrings with during this time period. It's really cool stuff. This is a piece of tulip poplar, guys, that I'm going to use for the flat bars on my backpack that I'm making. So what I'm going to do is just cut it down a little bit, and then I'm going to split it and refine it down to the flat pieces that I need. I better measure. That'll work. I always take the tension off my saw when I'm not using it. I'm not going to split this straight down the middle. I got it off just a little bit to the side. Just try to imagine, guys, back during the Neolithic period, they didn't have a Holtzbrook axe like I have, or a Brothers of Bushcraft knife. They didn't have any of that stuff. They had flint tools. They used chert. They used obsidian, whatever they could get a hold of. In Otzi's case, he had flint. And my backpack's not going to be identical to his. Of course, I'm sure they work all the same, but it's going to be as close as we can get. Came a long way since the Stone Age. Okay, everybody, I've got my 2 slats cut here, as you can see. And the way Otzi's backpack was made, guys, he had holes bored here, slats, this way, lengthways, and these slats were tapered down on the ends, and they actually slid through and through, which would make it more, fit more ergonomic to your back. But I'm gonna do it this way and see how it turns out. All I'm gonna do is put my slats on like this and then lash with this jute twine around this way to secure it in place. And the purpose for these slats was the person making this during the Neolithic period would have made a pouch out of animal skin, and it would have attached up here, and of course they would have put stuff in it, and this would hold the pouch away from their back and keep it more stable during travel. I'm just going to use this jute twine. The Neolithic people would have used the natural cordage like we showed you with the double twist method, but I'm just going to use this for now. We could do it with the natural cordage, but I don't have any readily available because I don't have any processed enough besides that little tiny piece that you saw. That's why I got this jute twine. It's basically the same thing, but it's machine made, I'm sure. So you purists out there, just have some mercy. If you guys would like to see me make one like Otzi did, I mean identical, with the drill holes and all that, just leave it in the comments, guys, and I'll try to reproduce it as best as I can. We'll cut me 3 lengths off of this. About the same. If you don't know how to do a simple braid, it's very easy, guys. This is a 3-strand braid. You just take 3 strands of equal length material, tie a knot in the end. In this case, I'm going to use my knife. Just something to hold it with. See, I've got a loop on the end here. Just going to put my knife through that and just cinch my knife down that way. 3-strand braid. It's very simple. You just cross over, guys. Just keep crossing over. Keep it tight or as loose as you want. It's a pretty simple process. Okay guys, I got my 2 cords braided for the shoulder straps. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to attach them to our backpack, or frame. This is a pack frame actually. It's not actually a backpack, it's a pack frame. And we're going to attach these just real simple. Just tie them on. I'm going to put a slip knot in here. I don't know if they used slip knots back in the day. That's what I'm putting on this one. Pretty simple process, guys. You just tie it on, hook it to the bottom and the top, like that. And you can adjust the length after I get it on. After I get it on there, guys, I'll adjust it to where I need it. I don't know if they used the braid technique back then. I would say not, because they use the double twist technique on most of the things that was found with him. His cordage was done the same way. So this probably would have been some heavier material. The shoulder straps would have been some kind of heavier fibrous material to make the shoulder straps with. And probably the same double twist method that we showed you earlier. There we go, guys. Let's try it on. Okay guys, here's our backpack frame with our shoulder straps. Would have been worn just like this. I think it turned out pretty good. The length is pretty spot on with the shoulder straps. I think it turned out pretty good, guys. Now all I would have to do is make a pouch for holding materials. So we have our backpack, guys. Our backpack frame, which I think turned out pretty good. Also, these guys would have been carrying some kind of weapon. Not only would they have had their axe, but they would have had probably a bow, because that's what Otzi had. He had a bow made out of yew wood, a long bow. He had arrows, he had a quiver as well, which was really nice. And he had it made out of animal skin. And he had so many arrows in there, I'm not sure the number right offhand, but only 2 of them were finished with flint broadheads and fletching. The others were in the process of being made. So he had to carry this with whatever he had in it, his quiver, his bow, his copper axe, which he did have also a leather belt with him, was made kind of like a pouch on a belt. He had that with him, which had flint knapping tools and some other medicinal property things, some mushrooms off of birch tree I think he used. They said was probably for medicinal purposes. He also had some fire starting things as well. So this man was well equipped for his time. He also had clothing on. He had shoes that were made out of animal skin, grass, and tied up with the same natural cordage that we showed you guys. Again, you can go and view all these videos on YouTube, guys, or find articles on the internet. It's very, very interesting if you're interested in the old people ways, you know, the Indians, the Stone Age folks, or whatever. But they were very well advanced, further than you would think if you get to check into it. Sure, their ways were harder, but they were very smart. They had the same intelligence we have. They just used it in a different time to make it by the way they could. A lot of these guys were hunters, some were shepherds, and some farmed. You know, they had lifestyles just like we do, but they had ways of doing things. They didn't have the nice backpacks with the padded shoulder straps and the aluminum frame or carbon fiber frame or whatever, with all the different pouches and places to put things. They didn't have that. They had to make do with what they had. But anyway, guys, we hope you liked this. I'll quit rambling on. I could talk about this subject for a long time. I really enjoy it. But there's other things that we're going to try to reproduce in the future. If you're interested in these videos, just give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. If you want to see more of these things from the Stone Age, Neolithic period, Bronze Age, right there on the edge, just tell me, guys. Leave it in the comments if you're interested in this. I think it's really cool stuff. We also enjoyed our stay in the hammock. Had a good time. It was really cool last night. Not cold. It was comfortable. I'll say that. But inside of that A-frame, man, it holds the heat in. The mosquitoes are really bad. I'm going to have to figure something out. So if you guys have any ideas, leave it down in the comments, and we'll pursue that and see what happens. Thanks for coming today, guys. We hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's not too long. And we'd like to say that we'd like to thank God for this day. It's a beautiful day. It's going to be hot again. It's already starting to get humid. It's already starting to warm up. I think it's around 11 o'clock, maybe 11:30 in the morning. But anyway, we'd like to thank God for this day and give Him glory and praise and honor for all things, for the ability to be able to do these things. But our very being comes from God the Father, which is in heaven. And we're also thankful for His Son Jesus, who died for us. We ask you guys this day, are you ready for eternity? If you're not sure, please cry out to God and get yourself ready to meet the Lord, because He's coming back. Jesus is coming back for the church. And we don't want to see anybody go to that awful place called hell. Guys, we appreciate you coming today. Thanks for clicking on this video. Thanks for your support. This is Jody with C.O.D. Outdoors. Have a blessed day in Jesus' name.